I had no idea that this is where Psalms 3 came from. Psalms 3 is by David. Now, apparently, there was a point in time where David fled from his son Absalom. Now, everybody knows David had a bunch of kids, but Absalom was his third-born son. He killed his firstborn son, Amnon, which is his brother. So he killed his eldest brother. This is David's heir. Why did he kill him? So Amnon actually raped Tamar, Absalom's sister. So this is all taking place in 2 Samuel's. And I remember reading of this, but I was like, I didn't know it had anything to do with Psalms 3. That I remember this story. Tamar is Absalom's sister. But they are also brother and sister to Amnon. Basically, they the only difference is they basically got the same daddy. It's just that them two share the same mama than they do of Amnon. So basically, he rapes his half sister. Now, she is a virgin when this tragic incident happens to her. They end up taking this to King David. So David, he finds out about this. He is angry about this, but he does nothing. Now, I wonder why. Maybe it's because, you know what I'm saying, Amnon is his firstborn, so he will be kind of like the heir to his throne. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know why. But David basically, as the king, basically he didn't do anything. At least it wasn't written that he did anything. This really angered Absalom. And he became very revengeful and very, very hateful towards his brother. He hated his brother. Which led to him actually killing his brother and fleeing to Geshur. David had found out about this. He was very grieved. And he did not kill Absalom for killing his brother. He didn't kill him, but instead he actually forgave him and accepted him again into his family. So he brought him back to Jerusalem after he had fled. He brought him back, forgave him, accepted him again, and I guess they carrying on with life or whatever. But then Absalom begins to popularize himself. So he done got to a point where, you know, his father's accepting him back. Things are cool or whatever. But he done got to a point where he's kind of like speaking out loud, or I guess telling people, you know, if I was the judge of this land, I'd bring justice and I'd do this, you know. And he's stealing the hearts of the men of Israel. So they're bowing to him. He's stretching his hand out to them. He's kissing them. You know, that was kind of like a way, you know, to show I accept you, you know, that kings would do. You know, that was a thing back then, I guess. But yeah, he's stealing the hearts of the men of Israel from David. You know, David is their king, but they're bowing to his son. He even got David's counselor to rebel against him. So in this rebellion, David flees. He flees from his own house. He takes some people with him. He leaves like a couple concubines. He leaves his side chicks, some side chicks with him. Some. I think it was like 10 of them, something like that. He leaves them there and he cries out to God. That's where Psalms 3 comes in. That's where Psalms 3 comes in. Y'all, when I tell you, I did not know I remember reading of this story, of reading of Samuel's, and I read of what happened, but I didn't know that is where the Psalms came from. I didn't know that. I didn't know like what was the the context of Psalms 3. I didn't know. I was just like, this is something that I would read and I would cite and I would highlight, but I really didn't know like the backstory of why David fled from his own son. Eventually his son died, so you know. But yeah, I hope this helps. That's the meaning of Psalms 3.